So you see all the shenanigans happening, unfolding.
Oh yeah, I was following though, and some of the speeches. At least I captured a couple of MPs now
Mm-hmm.
from both sides, the
Chilling.
position, the ruling and independent, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So why, man, I think the problem is Barrow is the obstacle to our progress. You see, we are almost 10 years into so-called democracy, huh? Why Bente, we still could not
Mm-hmm.
have a constitution, and there is only one person who is saying no to that, Moy Adama Barrow, because there is nothing difficult in doing this, but he will just come out with idea, or people will come out with ideas. This is what he did with the Janneh Commission. This is the same thing he did with TRRC. I did a Facebook live, yeah, good no, come Lumaro wa moe. When
Mm-hmm.
they came out with the 2022 constitution, 2020 constitution, Lunya
Mm-hmm.
wa moe, because it was Nyom Majanko and others, they were all speaking on the same line. You know, constitution we then got plagiarized. So, but this just minor issue, they expunge everything out. But they came with the same thing again. Now they are not telling us living plagiarism like that. Because the thing why Barrow doesn't want these things to go is because of that retrospective that Barrow Tamam the Fakuma said 2017 instead of 2021.
Mm.
Yeah, Lolumota Mune this constitution. Parce if they said Barrow's first term is 2017 is not included, we will not have all these problems.
Mm-hmm. With the
Why
2020,
mom?
right?
Why 2020? Parce que first time bunyo so fekene bo amune that retrospective term limit. New Delhi, parce que never commencé 2017 become president of the Gambia. Automatically, that's his first term. Lolu sunne kuton fofu. If it says that okay, this his first time is going to start at 2021, we will not have this problem. Why? He knows our problem. We know our problem. Why? Lumneka de Defmo is playing with us like kids. Because Baro def New Yap. Juka, I think
Yeah,
that
I
is the
am all
best
yaplade.
description. Yeah, Baro Emol Jable. Billahi. Baro doesn't respect anybody in that country. Because look at all the things that happen in that country. Baro defanyo look on there. This same guy will tell you, even audit reports are opinions. TRRC, something as important as that one, he just brushed it aside like that. People still did not get justice. So he think
Nothing has been implemented on the TRRC.
nothing, absolutely. Even the Faraba, he will just do a slap on the wrist. That is the only thing he will. He will just go for after one or two small fish and release the rest of the people, or did not act on those. I don't.
Or if I'm call. If I'm call. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Omar Nyuan. Okay, Omar. Why tapote len ngeen share
Man,
guys? Share len
yeah.
tapote.
Man,
Thank you, Pulo.
Malagan then publish like a report. If you see the time and the energy and the resources spent on this thing,
The
Baro,
2020.
yeah, in 2020, the original draft,
Mm-hmm.
anyanta alamutal dron, defora tie yala rek, anyanta alamutal dron, ay nimbula eta. Ske mom,
Eta.
manak mom, we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow, whether the new jogre, we are no more. Why do you have to drill the whole country because of your individual interests?
Mm-hmm.
Nitty wearing. Anything can happen. You see, people don't want to talk about it. Juka, we can say this today. Barrow
Mm-hmm.
is pushing all these things. Whether it pass is not pass, who knows what is going to happen to him tomorrow?
Mm-mm. Nobody
Nyana
knows.
Nkola, why? Nobody knows. Who knows what a change of government can happen tomorrow? It can be anything. It can be coup
Mm-hmm.
d'etat. It can be popular uprising. He can die.
Mm-hmm.
We can get into a turmoil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So why can't you just do the right thing so that people remember you for that?
For the
Why
country.
difficult? Yeah, Macky Sall did the same mess in Senegal. Everybody was clapping. People, Mom Lum Tumal Ablai Award, he did worse than that. Suñu
Hmm.
xaalis, the time, the energy. Léegi moom lu mu bëgg a léegi. I don't even know what Barrow wants. Su fekkee ne mu ngi liggéey sax, one can say, okay, this is somebody who should be given chance. Why
Mm-hmm.
nekku di def dara? Nothing is moving in that country. Momsa, and all those people around him, they know. What another problem is, Dauda Jallo is the problem because mom is the one who did all these things for Paske. We had informations that people went to Barrow. You know, why are your people blocking this thing? Mune mom, do mom, Nita Mila, his people, right? So he's gonna talk to them, but
What
nothing
does he mean
changes.
when he say his people?
Wow, mune
Nyalla.
niti wow, mune amna ñoo xamne ñu nekk ci patiam
Mm-hmm.
ñoom ñoo bañ pour constitution bi. It's like African leader, when you tell an African president, why are you running for third term? They will be like, okay, but the people ask me
They
to run.
want me to.
But if people ask you to run, is wow, they want me to extend my tenure. They want me to overstretch my tenure. But that's their opinion. Man, mun na talk with a man. I want Trump to be president for 10 years, but that is not right. And it doesn't mean Trump should say, okay, Pascal Omar Mune, man, I have to go for another term. I should go for another term. Mom dafa war a xool boppam mu xam ne what things are not working in that country. We know nothing is happening. Barrow cannot govern. Barrow cannot fight corruption. Barrow cannot create employment. Barrow cannot provide security. So what does he want again? I think the best thing for him is for him to go home, let somebody come and do all these things for us. I am sure you read that story like a couple of days ago. They sent them to Saudi Arabia. 6 of them came, parce que they were sent there as domestic workers, but because of the conditions, what is stopping us for us to create jobs for our people? Yo, Danga Musa Degane, this is the prospect. He created this opportunity for people,
He has
or
no
at least
they
100,
have no plan for that.
yeah, at least 100 young people are able to get a job. Even a let's say even a bakery. Amut. Okay, did they create even a mango processing factory for at least 200 people to go? No. So this Punyom dañoo toog rek lekka and the rest of the country, because Gambians are also interesting people. Dañ dee wax ne yàlla baax na, essence yokkan, mburu yokkan, everything is going up. You people who live outside, sometimes people wonder how people survive in that country. ID card is not even in that country. Why bente they will cross the borders and go and give ID cards to other people.
In
Why do
Congo,
you need
and
those things?
I
In
want to
Congo,
ask you a
yeah,
question,
wow.
Omar Wally. Yo,
Mhm.
langa foki, ye mune mira, munati na baro hani sign, ama la cabinet dada, aman constitutional dada, foka pare nying ID kato abi finti kan ka di bantala banko la dinding like Gambia no minu be bantala banko to.
Because the problem is Barrow's hands are dirty. Barrow is into so many messy things. Yo, Nintendo being a kodo detail. Nga kodo sunya nga dealer. I take 50, I gave you $50. Next day I came with 200, I gave you 100. You think you will be able to confront me and say publicly? No, because you blow bullet jail foka pare. And secondly, this is not about this is deliberate. But I also feel Mota, I think I have another problem with the civil society in the country. But I also feel Mota, I think I have another problem with the civil society in the country. Because what I've realized, they're only there. Yalo will come they will just go to donors and say, okay, we can persuade these people to accept the constitution. Yosa Hamgane, it is not the opposition who are opposed to this constitution. It is not, it is one person who said no, and that is Adama Barrow, because the constitution doesn't want him to go beyond 2 times. Why not you tell those people before you fly Ibn Chambers, Good Lord, Jonathan, and all those so-called experts to come to Gambia to go and
And the funding
go and have a
from
dialogue with this
put in
opposition?
there.
Why do you need that? You don't need that. Why those of civil society in the Gambia? Why are they not directing their efforts to the president saying, yo, yeah, problem be. Stop what you are doing. Going back to ID card issue, like I said, this man, Nimam will respect. He doesn't respect Gambians, you know, because something as easy, a country like Gambia, we cannot even produce ID card. We are a failed state, ID card. If you go to bank, them GT Bank, you tell them you want Visa card or Vera card, they will print it for you within a blink of eye. And that has to do with your money, your life saving. Your everything goes to the bank. They print that thing for you and give it to you. A country independent 50 years, nearly almost 60. Noon, we still cannot print our own ID. 50 years, nearly almost 60. Noon, we still cannot print our own ID card. passport problem, electricity problem, road is a yon bisa suñ ko defare problem. So this is a failed state. There's no different. When you talk about failed state, you have to be like in the equivalent of Somalia. No, it doesn't have to be in a country of civil war or chaos or instability. But Lisa is a problem. You go to the hospital problem. You operate. Women are given birth in the ward, or you operating them, light goes off. We are worse than Somalia. I can say, I bet, because even those countries, even Gaza, they are at least they are treating their people with the limited resources they have, with all nearly 2 years of war. Why Nyundal, Bente Mununyo Tie Yonda, and
Legi
Barrow still
Omar.
want to continue. Does that make sense to anybody?
No, it makes no sense. Absolutely not. But Omar, I want to ask you,
No.
Legi, draft constitution be.
Mhm.
Obviously, they said li
Wow.
nga xam ne didn't favor them, and it has nothing to do with the people, right? It's most of the things yi nga xam ne moom lañ isiwaat is about them. Li leen no benefit. And then they added that on the, like, basically edited that and make that the 2024, right? So Legi, what do you think should happen with this 2024 be draft be? Loo foog ne moo nekkat mooy happen si. We're not gonna end up with any constitution
I
at the
think
end of the
from
day, or what?
what I'm observing, no, we will end up the 1997 buñ am. That's what we're going to be with until whatever happens.
So that means no
Because
constitution,
what I've seen now,
no
it
new
seems
one.
like no new one, of course, because these people are going to kill this too. Big and the blame squarely goes to Barrow, parce que moom la. Yo, 126, definitely. Yo, nga ne déedéet. Yo, xam nga ñi dañ foog ne ñun we are not smart. They went and chopped all those important things, thinking that people will not read to know. And hold on, if people did not raise alarm, this thing will just go under the carpet, and they would, if there was no public awareness, nobody doing what is happening, sir, is going to happen. You know what I mean? Because this is the plan. The same guy who said, "Mune mom defa bany," he will not give us the people who bought Jammeh's asset.
Wow.
So these people are not willing for anything. Bugun, they don't want, like, so say they were tambo de sembelate la. Yeah, 2020 na de ko hani. Side of that you did some, you don't accept the 2020. Now you want us to accept the 2024. And these are simple things.
And the 2024 is not for the people. It actually is by you. It's not by the people. The 2024 is by you and for you, for your own benefit. The 2020 was by the people and for the benefit of the people, right? But ñoom is a group of people. ñoom ñu ne loo ñoom li leen arrangé loolu lañ bugga si 2024 bi.
Mhm.
Man, I mean, that doesn't even make sense when the constitution is for the people.
Yuka, I was part of people who were part of this constitutional building process, because I was part of a team doing the media communication and so on. Because when you look at the media laws, they were so bad. Myself, Sirin Fai, and others were hired to put our input there. Okay, we did our part. You tell Barrow, okay, for example, president that they appoint nominated National Assembly members. Legi, that should not be the case. Mune no, because he wants to have control over that, and many other things. Okay, you tell him, okay, director of public prosecution supposed not to be under Minister of Justice. They did, because that was they want to have an oversight over that individual, director of public prosecution. So those are the things. This man still danga buga govern, you want to be president, but you govern, you want to be president, but you don't even have you cannot even govern, yet you want to lay haral because this is in other word helping him. Your munulo, haral we say some of this burden out of your haral we say some of this burden out of your hand. Ngane did it. I want to do everything. The country is collapsing. I don't even think our people know that our country is collapsing. and it's going down the drain because this doesn't make sense in any civilized country, in any serious country. Look what is happening. It can only happen in the Gambia. Go and listen to some of these MPs. Even the previous one, 2020, nyom, people were there. Nyom, they did not read it. They did not read anything. Why? They schooled them and said, Mota, you will hear the lies of my Nyango, wow, didn't go photocopy. But what did they photocopy from Kenya? Because any constitution in the world, especially in Africa, we borrow things from each other. Okay, you just make few changes. Okay, then go photocopy. Why legi? Land photocopy. Now you, like I said earlier, you brought that one legi. You did not talk about that plagiarism now, but you just want to dump this on people, them. And the civil society, what they're supposed to do, they are not doing that. They're trying to blame people on social media and those opposing this bill for for not having the interest of the country at heart. No, it is Barrow who is not willing. It is Barrow who doesn't have the interest of the Gambia and the country at heart. Because he is the stumbling block of all these things. Lee, who ko guarantee ne key the win 20 next year election? With all the mess, all this money we spend. So why not you just allow things to go what they're supposed to go? At least mom the former press anala kumbe. At least we have 2 term limits on him. He wasn't greedy. Anala kumbe. We have A, B, and C. Okay, the Anala Kumbe. Okay, and at least National Assembly members, nominated members, were not nominated by the president. He did. These are his legacies.
And
No matter, of
he
course.
talks about Omar. He talks about legacy a whole lot. Everything Barrow says is legacy, but lately, actually, I haven't heard Barrow say legacy as much as before.
Mm,
Right? I don't know if you realize that
yeah.
before Barrow used to say legacy a lot. Maybe that time he was thinking about an exit plan because that was around the same time when he said he was going to build that house, that property, that the justice, whatever, right? The what is it called again? Kër boobu noonu bañ ko expose noonu,
Wow,
right?
wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow. See, big, wow.
Right. So all of those things he was thinking alongside, okay, legacy. So maybe at that time he was thinking possibly, okay, he may exit. Why lately, do they dig about anything about legacy? Why this is one thing Lord Hamne. So ko joxoon Gambian si. This will be a legacy for the rest of rest life yi waxuma la moom de waaye Gambia, the history of Gambia fii ba 200 years sax su ñoo wax affaire yi président yi fi jaaroon Barrow ñëpp dinañ ko fàttali ne dinañ fàttaliku Barrow ne moom moo ñu joxoon moom moo nekk the first président koo xam ne toog na mu serve ñaari taam ba pare si ñaari taam yooyu si la def draft si la def constitution mu jox ñu constitution boo xam ne is a term limit 2 term limit ban
Guess
façon
you
legacy
see,
moo ëpp loolu si àdduna bi.
no, here is the thing, man. I don't think this man understands what he means by legacy because in our African context, Famga, when you talk about development we Africans, what we think is about Nasamba Road, Sampa Ta. Those, that's how, but they failed about institutional building. So mom lola for wadama Samba Ayon Wule. That's
Okay.
my legacy. But these are development that's supposed to take place. Hospitals supposed to be built because they are part of the
Anyways,
contract.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. So hospitals and other things supposed to be there. In as much as you are doing all those things. Why? Mom, look, for me, mom, the way he think and the way people think is different. Not disrespecting, but mom, his way of thinking and the way he see things. Parce que key, xam nga dañ ko dee jox lu mu war a wax. That is the problem with him. When he came newly 2017, when we went to interview him, I was sitting down listening to a couple of journalists. When you tell him, what have you achieved so far? The flower, there is freedom. Nobody gives Gambians freedom. Gambians gave themselves freedom, number one. Number two, he will tell you that the traffic at the ports is high. But if you want to go deep into that conversation, he doesn't even understand the traffic. He will tell you the import cover. You ask him what is an import. He will the import cover. You ask him what is an import cover. He doesn't even know. So it's like Nganyo, you give him information, said, okay, journalists want to interview, or you want to have press conference. What happened so far? Okay, crime rate has dropped. So even that statistics, he cannot even have a proper clue or understanding how to explain that to people. Okay, you see, all these days they were like Gambia is the most peaceful I saw a reporter in Africa. They are jumping around that time. Nobody is saying no. Okay, we are not peaceful. But there are so many issues that have been going on recently. But he will never come out and address those people. So, Mom, if you give him information, the raw one, he does how he dealt with it. He doesn't process it and give you how you supposed to be. So, legacy, if affair with Pogna Barrow, I don't think he has a clue of what he's talking about when it comes to the issue of legacy. Maybe it's about comme lu ma wax rek sampa sampa tax roads and so on, bridges. That's his understanding of legacy. But again, I don't think he will talk about parce que loo xam dafa tilim léegi. You know, if you see the frustration coming out of the country, you know, Barrow sa xam na léegi, he will have so many questions to answer. Even with Yaya Jammeh assets am yi rek, the way they, you know, the way they, you know, nuñ ko lifine daal. He has so many questions to answer.
Wow.
He's just, yeah, his justice minister has questions. His government in Charlie. Because, yo, the reason why, you know, Yaya Jammeh keram den ko jël si lo xam. Yaya Jammeh can have $10 million in his account. Why Americans, you know, at the time, Yaya Jammeh doesn't have, Yaya Jammeh's income. Du ko mën a jëndal kër boobu noonu. Was that not his justification? Nekune, he doesn't have $500,000 or so. But when you look at the time of purchasing, looking at his income, legitimate, legal one, legit one, look at am. That's why they took they confiscated the thing from him. The mom, I think he's supposed to learn lesson. Because he's not going to be here forever. So these are the things. Yo ya wahane munulo. Niti nyola dimbale. I think the best thing, gis nga nit luñ la buga if there are suyage rek dañ la nit yi dañ la dee especially when you're not doing the right thing. Nelson Mandela was one of the best finest presidents. Xam nga lum def parce que xam na nit yi dañoo mool be facilable. He just did one. American politicians are quoting him. European politicians are quoting him. Barrow supposed to be that president, but he missed the opportunity. Legi is like he's trapped in the middle of an ocean because he has so many questions to answer.
Yeah, it's really sad. And I think like you said, maybe he's just so caught up now and he's so
Of course.
so drunk on power that he doesn't even like step back to realize now, you know what, this might be the best thing for me to do, to just step away. Because honestly, if Barrow messes around and stays until 2026, right, and then we get a new government in place, Barrow is going to jail. Barrow
He
and all
will.
his people, they will go to jail because they've done so many economic
Joka,
crimes.
you know what triggered the political impasse in 2016? That interview with Farmer Tamadang, because Yaya Jammeh hands are dirty. In Unekone, the fact that that journalist put out that they will prosecute them. Parce que xam na ne, if you're so defute dara, waruloo raga. Why? Because of that, we will prosecute Jammeh. That's why he was able to use that IEC error as a justification to trigger a political impasse. Okay, go get that phone. So that was the thing. So obviously he has so many questions to answer. And you know, the sad thing about Barrow, what is going to happen, Juga? They will prosecute him for crimes that he himself was not directly involved. I don't know whether you understand.
Yeah.
Because he has his own mess, but because it happens under his watch. It's like what the UN did with Charles Taylor, Sierra Leone back home. You know, he was supplying arms and ammunition to RUF in Sierra Leone. They were chopping hands. You know, the blood diamonds. Diamonds were swapped for weapons. The rebels will bring diamonds. Charles Taylor will give them weapons, and that's how he was caught up. They sent him to ICC, and now he's in Belmarsh prison. So the same thing. Ask Barrow, 197 tractors. What happens to them? Momsa, imagine Barrow set up a commission. Barrow Mune, he's not informed or he's not aware of some of the issues happening at the commission. Is that not sad?
Very,
A head of
very
state.
reckless.
And this is the same guy who wow, Mune, you remember he said, Mom, he said he's the most informed person. But that informed person, Mune, I tracked those and some of the valuable assets, the way those things were sold that he wasn't aware. So Lolo Mom, he has so many questions to
And
answer.
I don't doubt that he doesn't know, because that's how naive Barrow, I think, he is. For the most part, obviously he knows, that there were bad dealings and so on. But am na yu bari yoo xam ne sax probably mom it will not happen right, like in front of his eyes, right? But at the end of the day, like he
Munge,
said, the buck stops
mhm,
at him. He was gonna be the one
yeah,
that's going to be held responsible.
yeah.
Now the sad part is,
Oh yeah, he will.
sànq yaa ngi fi wax ne moom suñ demoon nit ñi suñ ko laajee léegi lan moo tax doo ñu issue constitution bi es mu ne la moom du dee wax ne moom la de nitam yi la. But the
Wow,
problem
Mune,
is,
wow, parce que yeah.
yeah, but what I'm saying here is, mama jox la nga ñëw
Mhm,
su fekkee nitam yi
yeah.
la, guess what?
Mhm,
When 2026 comes, inshallah, and
yeah.
then
Yeah.
Barrow is put on trial pour mu dem,
Yeah.
you cannot say ne
Mhm.
nitam yi la, because moom moo nekk leader bi. And he's the one
He
that's gonna
is.
go to jail. Look at Jame. Look at Sidi Njai. Look at Fabakari
Yeah.
Tonko. They are doing whatever they want to do. And where's Jame? Exile. The same thing with even though we're not a serious country, if we were a serious country, all these things shouldn't have been happening.
No.
But if
Yeah.
you look at Senegal, right? Macky Sall,
Yeah.
no matter what, Macky Sall is gonna face justice at some point.
He will. He will. He will.
But Macky Sall cannot sit there and point fingers to the people that were around him and say that it was their fault. It was because
No.
of them.
No.
They will all pay
He,
for the crime.
Sanga Juga, what people normally fail to understand is those who are presiding over the country, the people don't know some of this. It happened for a reason. The fact that they give you Quran, you know, ngadem taha- so you will be president for all. You will be responsible for everything. That's why. Nakune, they just do it as a ceremony. No. That's why you're supposed to be in charge. So Barrow think people love him. These people surrounding him. I'm sure you heard what Dame said after the election when they declare Barrow winner. People started switching. People who were worshiping him switched towards when they saw soon green turned to yellow. Worse things will happen because
Mm.
the way he did not respect us, that's how those two criminals surrounding him don't respect him as well. Because they don't see him as somebody who is intelligent, that's somebody who is ready for this job. All what they are there, Nyomsen interest break. So yes, he will have so many questions to answer. Because even the wealth he amassed all these years, you know, our schools are
And
the
normally
roofs
what
are leaking.
happens? Normally what
Uh-huh.
happens, Omar, during a presidential, let's say a trial, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, all the small dogs, they will basically lobby them or persuade them to come and testify against the big dog for a lesser
You know
sentence
what?
for the small dogs.
You know what is gonna happen?
Mm.
Like uh the people even test people will volunteer. Eh? Need new volunteers and give out information in the first place.
There you go.
You see a good example. You remember the Sana Savali case when a perpetrator became a victim.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Damareni Amy, but at the end of the day, I was arrested, I was detained, I was tortured because this man is not lucky.
I am compelled to rule that the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia Promulgation Bill 2024 has not met the constitutional threshold required for passage at this stage, that is the second stage. The bill is therefore negative at this stage and shall not proceed further.